Futures trading involves risk and is not suitable for all investors. Content provided in this segment is meant for educational purposes and is not a solicitation to buy or sell commodities.
Welcome to Grain Gab, a show where we sit back and gab about what's on our minds with the grain markets and how it's affecting you, our producer, and what to do about it. Look, the grain markets are forever moving, crazy, and can be downright emotional. That's why we're here to sit back, look at things holistically, and find a strategic yet grounded approach to handling the obstacles of what the market might bring to us. Hi, I'm Lori Nelsen, your host, and this is Kristin Stien. Kristin, how are you today?
I am doing good, Lori. Did you know it is National Bacon Lovers Day?
Oh,
It's like my day. I just love
Yeah.
It's time to go get some tomatoes out of the garden, get some BLTs going, and away we go.
Yeah, and the weather is just very favorable today. So are you having
Beautiful for the month of August.
a bacon latte or something?
A bacon latte. That is not in the cup. No. It is National Lemonade Day too. So maybe that'll be in the cup later, mixed with something else. We'll see. We'll see how the day treats us.
Yeah, with state fairs kind of finishing up here, or I suppose several fairs still going on, that'd be appropriate also.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So what's happening? What's going on in the markets?
Oh, this month we've been busy rolling our puts down when the market just is drifting lower. We seem to find ourselves in the corn market in a 10-cent range here. Soybeans downward trend with just kind of a little pop here and there. The August WASDE report was mostly bearish, setting record corn and soybean yields, resulting in a new crop production to be fabulous. USDA expects little in terms of increased demand, pushing much of this extra grain into storage. Speculators on the corn side, a little bit on the corn side, are kind of sneaking out the back door as old crop finds its way to town. Crops are really approaching just the finish line. U.S. farmers are watching, to finish this crop out well and have a pretty good optimistic outlook on the crop. The U.S. drought monitor is not really offensive. Several have seen rains in the month of August here. So what great weather to look at filling pods on soybeans. U.S. dollar is fallen to the 7-month low, making the U.S. exports more competitive. China has bought a little bit of new crop soybeans, and we just need to continue to see them show up more. And I guess I'd add one more item, basis, fall basis. And then just looking at the carry in the market. So I just spit out a lot of things. What do you think this all means going forward, Kristin?
So what I really find interesting about all of that is a lot of the comments that we're hearing is how in the world are we going to have those higher yields, especially when we've had some problem areas? And the thing that I always like to look back on is the history of things, right? So when we look at the good to excellent rating versus like actual yield that the USDA comes out with for a final yield, there's been 11 years in the past that we've been better than 67% good to excellent on corn, right? And those yields have come out. I mean, there's been a good chunk of them where we end up having a better yield on top of that, right? On beans, 4 years that we've been better than that 68% good to excellent rating. But what we have to keep in mind is look at the month of August that we've had. We've been told that the pods are getting set, and now we've got fill. Right. So there's still potential there. And the thing that I'm really concerned about, and this goes into the whole conversation of what to do next. The thing that I'm concerned about is we came out with more acres of beans. We came out with a higher yield, and we came out with worse demand. So all of a sudden we've got this massive amount of bean carryover and even worse stocks to use ratio on soybeans that's going on right now. Where's all of it going to go? And we always want to be forward thinking and not just, oh, this is what's happened in the past. You gave us an awesome recap of kind of the current market environment, but now we got to start looking towards fall because it's going to be here. Right? It's like Christmas. It comes every year. We just have to actually be prepared for it. And what that looks like is we need to start having good, solid conversations around what type of fall needs am I going to have by way of delivering. And I need to get ahead of that basis. Some people are calling it the wall of grain that's coming. Other people are calling it the hall of shame. Whatever name you want to give it, right? There's going to be a massive amount coming. And it's interesting to me that the funds have been lightening up their position, yet we've been flat in the corn market because of all the selling that's happened. And a majority of that hasn't even really gone down yet. We still have we're not even close to harvest yet from that standpoint. So when you look at that, I mean, one of the things that we continue to always say is to keep your futures and your basis separate, right?
Rule number 7.
Yep. We've been talking for the past couple of months about getting your future set, having that set. Now is the basis portion. And basis, when you take a look at a 2 billion bushel carryout and a 500 million bushel carryout on beans, when you look at your elevator basis and even your processor basis that we're at for fall, it's quite average or actually a little bit better considering the carryouts. So don't be afraid to grab that because the buyers just haven't bought enough yet, but they know it's going to come at some point. So you're likely not to see that much of an improvement from there. So go ahead and start getting disciplined about figuring out what's out in the field. What do I need to have? And start getting that plan put in place.
Okay, so if we go ahead and we set basis and I still have some December hedges, I still have some November hedges, maybe I want to leave a bit there in case I have that extra production that needs to find a home. But those extra bushels, what have we been doing with those? That I know I'm not going to need them for fall.
A great Dece to March carry, right? On corn, Nove to March carry on beans, they are phenomenal. We're over the 75% cost to carry ratio that we typically like to roll at. So if you are one of the rare birds in the field that have their fall needs met and have extra grain that's already priced at those higher prices, now's the time to capture carry. If you're not one of those rare birds and or weird ones, we'll call it, that's been quite the word thrown out. But if you're one of the normals, right? This is the time to consider the rare moments that it works to actually price futures and basis together, sell the cash for your fall needs, but then buy a call spread. So many people get caught in the trap of writing basis contracts in a carry market, and it's cringeworthy because when you are writing a basis contract in a carry market, carry works against you, not for you. So don't get caught in the trap of declining markets, carry markets, setting basis, and then having to roll because the market hasn't hit a spot that you want to sell the bushels yet. And now all of a sudden the carry's getting taken off of your basis price rather than to it. It's much cheaper to buy a call and have that associated to it in case you want some of that upside. But that's something we can dig in a lot later. But just keep that in mind. Please don't write basis contracts right now.
Well, and I think further discussion would also happen is not to put your bushels in commercial storage, is cashing out and buying that call on there.
Bingo.
Oh,
bingo. And yeah, maybe that's another topic for our next Grain Gab to kind of give you a little treat as to what next go around is going to look like, because that's going to be a heavy conversation this year as a majority of this grain coming to town is not priced yet. What to do with those bushels for sure.
Which is just a little tap for you to put that in your brain.
Yep. Don't do it now. Please no.
No, not now. But when you get to contracts are full, what am I going to do with this extra stuff? Pick up the phone, give us a call. We'll have this discussion.
You got it. Cool.
All right. Do you have any questions for me?
100%. Of course I do. Yeah. I know you are. I've been dying to give them to you. All right. So we talked about how today is National Bacon Lovers Day. We talked about how it's National Lemonade Day. What is the most overrated holiday?
Oh.
And Bacon Lovers Day is not overrated.
Yeah, I'd say Halloween. There's just too much candy being purchased for Halloween.
You think so? So I need to tone it down with my kids' outfits.
Yeah.
Titanic and Goldilocks, just take it down a notch. Got it.
Yeah. Just
good life balance tip there. Thanks, Lori. How about, we were talking about vacations before we jumped on this call. Where is the best spot to vacation?
Oh, Montana. Definitely Montana. Almost this time of year.
See your buddy Rip or record on Yellowstone, or what's going on here, Lori?
No, we went out to Prairie, Montana, and there was this little itty bitty town that my husband and I were just going to run in to have a bite to eat. And lo and behold, Clint Black happened to be performing that night, and we couldn't even get into the town. So just kind of crazy. We found another place and kind of sat up on top of the hill and watched all the commotion. So
funny. So make sure you have your vacations planned and your harvest planned. Got it. Check.
Got it. All right. Okay. Thanks for joining us on this episode of Grain Gab. If you like what you hear, please subscribe and hit the like button. It really helps our algorithms. Thanks to Paige and the Insights team for making us look good. Till next time, keep your head up, your feet grounded. Cheers.
Cheers.